Imagine a world where everyone, from kings to peasants, spent their days in a state of mild intoxication. In the 17th century, contaminated water made alcohol the only safe choice, keeping the human mind in a fog for centuries. But suddenly, a dark, mysterious brew arrived from the east, the black gold. Coffee wasn't just a new taste, it was a biological revolution. For the first time in history, people swapped depressants for stimulants, shifting the collective consciousness from sedation to sharp focus. This sudden awakening wasn't just healthy, it was the spark for critical thinking and financial innovation. Coffee provided the intellectual fuel humanity needed to transition from the dark ages of stupor into the era of enlightenment and wealth. In the crowded alleys of London, coffee houses weren't just for gossip. They were called penny universities. For the price of a single penny, you could sit and listen to the greatest business minds of the age. Amidst the aroma of roasted beans, the massive financial institutions we know today were born. Take Lloyd's of London, the world's largest insurance market, started as Edward Lloyd's humble coffee house, where merchants gathered to calculate maritime risks and trade naval secrets. These rooms acted as the first internet, where information flowed faster than anywhere else. In these smoke-filled chambers, coffee transformed from a commodity into an engine of financial engineering, laying the foundation for insurance contracts, stock exchanges, and the global data networks that rule Wall Street today. But this awakening came with a bitter price. As soon as empires realized that coffee was liquid gold, it became a violent geopolitical weapon. The Dutch stole seedlings, the French smuggled them to the Caribbean, and Brazil cleared entire rainforests to fuel Europe's caffeine addiction. Coffee became a primary driver of colonization, where millions were forced to labor on plantations to satisfy the world's thirst for this magic stimulant. Wars weren't just fought over land or gold, but for control over the supply chains of a substance that would become the second most traded commodity on Earth after oil. Coffee redrew borders, funded revolutions, and toppled kings, proving that controlling what people drink is the fastest path to controlling the wealth of nations. As coffee's popularity exploded, so did its price, creating some of history's first speculative bubbles. Investors, desperate to get rich, poured fortunes into coffee plantations and trading ventures, leading to dramatic market crashes that ruined thousands. This insatiable demand fueled an unprecedented expansion of colonial power. European empires tightened their grip on coffee-producing nations, exploiting vast swaths of land and human labor in brutal conditions. The wealth flowing back to Europe built grand cities and funded lavish lifestyles, but it was built on the backs of enslaved people and the destruction of indigenous cultures. The bitter taste of this colonial exploitation lingered, eventually igniting the flames of independence movements across the globe as nations fought to reclaim their land and their dignity from the grip of the coffee empires. Fast forward to today, and the coffee wars have merely shifted from colonial battles to corporate boardrooms. Giants like Starbucks, Nestlé, and Lavazza fight for global dominance, not with warships, but with marketing campaigns, supply chain optimization, and fierce competition for market share. Billions are spent on branding, ethical sourcing claims, and premium experiences, the humble coffee bean, once a catalyst for exploration and empire building, remains a potent symbol of global capitalism. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that connects farmers in distant lands to consumers in bustling cities, often with complex ethical dilemmas regarding fair wages and environmental impact. The power dynamics have evolved, but the underlying drive for control over supply, distribution, and consumption remains just as intense. From a humble bean that awakened Europe to a global commodity that built empires and shaped financial systems, coffee's journey is a powerful lesson. It teaches us that true power lies not just in armies or gold, but in controlling the essential resources that fuel human ambition. Today, coffee is readily available, but the game of control continues. What is the next liquid gold? Is it clean water, rare earth minerals, or perhaps something intangible like data and artificial intelligence? The pursuit of dominance over critical resources, whether physical or digital, remains the driving force of our global economy. Understanding coffee's history helps us decode the future. Are we witnessing new coffee wars unfold right before our eyes? The answer, as always, is steeped in the silent battles for control. The story of coffee is the story of how our modern world was built. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe to Finance Unfolded for more deep dives. Now, I have a question. Would you have risked your fortune on the black gold of the 17th century? Let us know below. And if you think the history of coffee is wild, you won't believe how black pepper once ruled the world and even bought the city of New York. Watch that story right here.